Bitcoin Pod. In today's show, we'll be discussing the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as we just broke out, reaching an annual high. And also, traders confirm a target of up to $48,000. I'll be breaking this down for you. And quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser, Bitcoin demonetizes war, violence, and hate with unconfiscatable property that obviates and disintermediates the need for coercion of any kind. Preach. Also, this just in, MicroStrategy bought 155 more Bitcoin for $5.3 million. MicroStrategy now holds 158,400 BTC worth over $5.4 billion, meaning Michael Saylor's company is now almost $1 billion in profit. Let's go. Also in today's show, Arthur Hayes issues a warning on U.S. banking system, says Bitcoin loves one of the possible outcomes of a banking crisis. I'll be breaking this down for you, as well as prosecutors say that Sam Bankman-Fried is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in the closing statements as the trial has wrapped up. I'll be sharing the latest updates. We'll also be discussing how soon can Bitcoin hit 150,000 because another major asset manager, Bernstein, who has over $500 billion in assets under management, is anticipating this $150,000 price target. I'll be breaking down their timeline. We're also going to be discussing BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF might have the trading support of heavyweights like Jane Street, Jump, and Virtu. And quoting Samson Mao, don't be surprised when Bitcoin goes to $1 million post-spot Bitcoin ETF approval. The market cap doesn't increase linearly. There is a multiplier effect. I'll be breaking down the math of how the Bitcoin price is likely to rise to $1 million per coin after the approval of the spot ETF. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show. And if you're just joining us, be sure to smash that subscribe button and receive an on-screen shout out. Also be sure to hit that like as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Massive shout out to everyone in our live chat. We hit a new annual high touching 36,000 during my live Bitcoin price pump watch. How many of you attended that? Let me know, fam. Shout out to relaxing and meditation music. Good to see ya. Says, yeah, banking crisis. Let's get it. 100%. What up, Phil C? You were actually the first one on yesterday's price pump, so good to see you again, shouting you out. What up, Jason Bitmarch? Says, what up, JV? Iowa in the house. That's right. Let me know, guys, where you're tuning in from. This is a live and interactive show. First and foremost, I'm broadcasting live as I do 7 days per week from Puerto Rico. Let's get it. Shout out to Bitcoin Maximus. Shout out to our moderators. Shout out to Streamlabs. Shout out to Digital Dankness. Shout out to Sophisticated. I appreciate you tuning in. Much love, much respect. Yeah, the price action was 100% lit. You got to respect the pump. What up, Sherry Young? Appreciate your support, fam. Elaine says, yes, Bitcoin is better than cash. You already know cash is trash. There is no second best. That's what's up. You also notice there is a poll in the live chat. I asked the question, what's the second best cryptocurrency? And one of the most popular responses right now, there is no second best. Shout out to Sailor. What up, Andrew? Michigan in the building. Florida in the house. Shout out to Passive Income with AI. Manchester in the building. Shout out to the UK and all my people on that side of the globe. What up, Mega Don? Welcome, fam. Anyways, without further ado, let's now kick off with our market watch as we do each and every day. We can see, checking out Coin360 here, Bitcoin's currently trading at around 34,800 after reaching a local high of almost 36,000 late last night. We still have Ether and all the major cryptos also still in the green. And as they say, when in doubt, zoom out. Let's look at the 1 month chart. Holy moly, Bitcoin up 26%, not too shabby. And keep in mind, we just entered Moonvember and we just ended October, and October absolutely did not disappoint. You can see massive gains in the entire crypto market. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap sits above 1.3 trillion, so we're back on the rise. Look at that volume, up 56% in the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance currently 52.8%, with the Ether dominance at 16.9%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, we got PancakeSwap up 29%. We have Uniswap up 11%, and Decentraland up roughly 11%. And checking out crypto bubbles, we can see the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, including Mana, Uni, Aave, just overall massive gains. And checking out for the 1 month, you can see even bigger gains. The more you zoom out, the bigger the gains. It's been bullish in the entire crypto market for the past month, which is a good sign. And checking out the market cap plus the week, we can see Bitcoin is still up, Ethereum is still up, and overall, we have some pretty big gainers. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we are back in greed with a 72. Yesterday was a 66, last week a 71, and last month a 50, which is neutral. So there you have it, fam. How many of you are currently bullish on the King crypto? Do you suspect we're likely to climb above 40,000 once we break 36 resistance? Let me know your thoughts, because next we're going to be diving into our Bitcoin technical analysis. Shout out to Jersey Bean. I appreciate you. Shout out from the UK. Much love. Hello from Brazil. Leonardo, appreciate that. Shout out to all my peeps in Brazil. Massive shout out to Erico X for the subscription. As you'll notice, everyone who subscribes to the show during the live gets a live, shout out, not only on screen, but by me personally if I catch it as well. That's what's up. Welcome. Good to see you guys. What's new? What's poppin'? Cryptolution in the building. Megadon says Bitcoin dominance, 83%. Have to compare Bitcoin to each coin, not the rest of the market. That's right. It's misleading because it's also considering stable coins. If we take stable coins out of the mix, the Bitcoin dominance is way higher than what is reported. That's fact. What up, Baller Bill? What's good, fam? Shout out to Fairground Fun Fairs watching from Cornwall, England. We got a lot of fam from the UK. Much love, much respect. It seems like the liquidity just keeps coming. FOMO hasn't even set in. You're damn right, Web3. Also, there are a lot of rumors circulating on the web as of late that today is supposed to be big news for spot Bitcoin ETF approval. A little birdie whispered to another whale. You know how the game goes. But anyways, we'll see if there's any validity to that rumor, because naturally, if there is, you can expect the Bitcoin price to go parabolic, surpass 40,000, and just march towards that 50,000 psychological resistance, I feel, as soon as we get that ETF approved. But I take any information with a grain of salt, you know what I mean? But if we get that approval, game on, bring it. Hello from Puerto Rico. Oh, snap. Is Erico, you're in Puerto Rico as well? Much love, much respect. D-Mall, what it do? Bitcoin Max, that's what's up. Much love, much respect. It's my birthday. Everyone show Megadon some birthday love. Let's celebrate for the fam. Happy birthday, Megadon. Let's freaking go. Wishing you a very happy Bitcoin price pump. Yeah, I think it's a closed door meeting, says Phil C. Well, we'll see if my phone that is 50,000, I'll freak out. Won't we all? Good vibes for Bitcoin. You got it. All right, guys, without further ado, now let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis. Check out the charts where the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next. That's right. Bitcoin jumped to new 18-month highs, but holding its latest support is now a key to avoiding a breakdown. Here you're looking at the Bitcoin 1 week candle chart. Now data from Cointelegraph and TradingView showed Bitcoin gaining, their gains continuing into the day for November 2nd, with Bitcoin hitting almost 36. It was 35,970 on Bitstamp after the daily close, the highest level since May of 2022, and beating last month's local peak, which you gotta love. Now returning to the test, the metal of 35,000 as support, Bitcoin is on the radar of market participants, some of whom are not discounting the possibility of a new Bitcoin price dip. In his latest update, we have Mark Cullen suggesting 35,000 was the significant line in the sand to defend. Quoting the analyst here, now the Bitcoin range has broken. It's a little simpler. Either hold and push on up or break down, and we likely lose the major Bitcoin uptrend for the short term, referring to the past week's comparatively sideways trading landscape. Cullen also added the Bitcoin would need to close the 4-hour candle below the $35,000 mark to flip the mood. Quoting him again, no reason to be bearish until Bitcoin close and 4-hour back below 35,000. A dip back to test is fine and likely a BTFD opportunity. That's right. Buy that freaking dip. You already know. You know what I mean? So yeah, now let's discuss the next targets from other traders. We have Credible Crypto, who tweeted, there is a breakout, something like this to wipe out some of the late longers real quick. Would not surprise me. A quick dump down into demand. Late longers flush, plus the fresh bears pile into the demand. Higher price printed, run it back and into a real pump. Well, there you have it. Credible Crypto is very bullish. We also have him sharing that the shorting into support with bid stacked waiting is usually a recipe for the price squeeze to revert back to the upside. So we shall see. Now all eyes on 48,000. So let's break down this next target. We all know 20,000 was a popular choice and strongly contrasts with the popular bullish consensus level of 40,000, which others say is only a matter of time. We have popular trader Jelly shared the outlook calls for Bitcoin to go even higher, and analyzing on the longer time frames, Jelly spied a breakout suggesting a target closer to 50,000, right in alignment with Credible Crypto. He called 48,000. I covered this 2 episodes ago. He said by the second week of November, expect a 48,000 Bitcoin price. Now, if we're to keep pumping in that manner, that means we're going up another 12,000 from the local price action. As Jelly shares here, this Bitcoin bullish megaphone pattern has a target of around 48,000. It broke out last week. Let's roll. We're seeing a strong start to quarter 4 as expected, but I do expect momentum to slowly fade in about 2 to 3 weeks. Also shared here, the fight to break 48,000 may take some time. The bull market really gets moving after the halving, which we all know is around the corner, scheduled to take place sometime in April, which is roughly 5.5 months out. Quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser, Bitcoin demonetizes war, violence, and hate with unconfiscatable property that obviates and disintermediates the need for coercion of any kind. Preach. That's why it is the king crypto. And yeah, I mean, it's the king obviously for a reason. And how many of you have been seized in the moment, taking advantage of these price actions? It's still a 2-for-1 crypto sale. If you look at it this way, Bitcoin still more than 50% at a discount from the top of 69,000, which we hit November of 2021. Michael Saylor's buying. Yeah, I mean, we're going to be covering that story next. Shout out to William Empire. Do you like XRP? Personally, I'm all in on Bitcoin because Bitcoin is decentralized. XRP is a bridge currency for the central bank digital currency. I'm anti-banks. I'm anti-slavery. I'm anti-tyranny. And any technology of the banks that supports that, you need to know that. If you don't know, now you know. Smash the like, fam. Thank you, Erico. Much love, much respect. Let's get it. Happy B-Day to Megadon. I see a lot of birthday wishes. Appreciate the love for the fam. Still a 12,000 lift from here. Send it. Let's go. That would be great. This post could be a 300,000 post halving. Yeah, easy peasy. I think bullish targets range from conservatively 220,000, Max Kaiser short-term target, all the way up, possibly double top. You never know. We could hit 500,000 this cycle, especially with the spot Bitcoin ETF. All eyes are on the ETF right now, as you know. Jay Bella, some YouTubers only busy with their own bags and not with their audience. Let them think we'll go higher. Lower is where the real men with the news and the technical analysis. I disagree there. I mean, I disagree with SoloWay and Data Dash and all the perma bears. I feel more bullish. I mean, the consensus in the market right now, to me, is obvious. You can feel it in the ether, pun intended. But you guys let me know what you think. Thank you for your input. You're very welcome, William. Much love, much respect. Now let's break down our next story of the day. MicroStrategy continues smash buying that BTC. You know what I mean? So shout out to the one and only Giga Chad, Michael Saylor. So yeah, as I shared here, MicroStrategy bought 155 more Bitcoin for 5.3 million bucks and now holds 158,400 Bitcoin worth 5.4 billion. Ultimately meaning they're roughly $1 billion in the green. So well done, Michael Saylor. We're only just getting started. So that's right. The business intelligence firm MicroStrategy, which was the first publicly traded company to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet, notched a paper gain of 900 million, almost $1 billion on its stack of 158,400 BTC, spurred by optimism over the potential approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs. Michael Saylor founded the firm. He added 6,000 Bitcoin since the third quarter, including another 155 in October, according to MicroStrategy's November 1st results filing, quoting Michael Saylor here on X. In October, MicroStrategy acquired an additional 155 BTC for 5.3 million and now holds 158,400 BTC. And yeah, please join us to discuss our quarter 3 financial results and answer questions. Obviously, they are experiencing this bullish momentum, well deserved, well played. And MicroStrategy's CEO, Feng Li, said the firm isn't shying away from its Bitcoin strategy anytime soon. Quoting him here, our commitment to acquire and hold Bitcoin remains strong, especially with the promising backdrop of potential increased institutional adoption. Now, the firm's revenue increased 3% year on year to almost $130 million over the quarter. However, it wasn't enough to keep the firm out of the red, recording to a net loss of $143 million. And while the Bitcoin price surged as of late, Bitcoin fell 11% 8% from 30,000 back down to 26,000 during the third quarter. MicroStrategy capitalized on the downward period, buying up 6,000 BTC for the average price of 27,590. MicroStrategy is also confident in where its artificial intelligence integrated business analytics products are situated, with its software licenses and subscription services increasing 16 to 28% year over year. That's right, AI is probably the most craziest market to be in right now as far as adoption, growing even faster than crypto, fam. Quoting him here, we believe MicroStrategy is well situated to capitalize on both the tailwinds in Bitcoin and growth in our AI business. So there you have it. I mean, bullishness is just getting started. You know what I mean? So there you have it. How many of you have seized the moment and bought the dip as well and continuing to dollar cost average? Let me know in that live chat. Shout out to $0 G-Row. I appreciate the super chat. It means a lot, fam. Much love, much respect. Megadon says, let's get some good news from the SEC's closed door meeting this afternoon. I mean, for sure. Solaway is a plant, says $0 G-Row. It seems to be this way, but you guys, again, let me know what your thoughts are. What's up? The SEC is having a meeting today. Yes, behind closed doors. What are they talking about? Probably something to do with a spot Bitcoin ETF and when it's going to get approved, because they cannot continue to push it back and continue kicking the can down the road. You know what I mean? Especially with the regulators on Gary Gensler's arse, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? It is what it is. FTT is the second best. That's hilarious. Thankness. I bought a huge bag of Bitcoin today. Congratulations. Executable. That's what's up. Took profit from Solana. Solana is another top gainer for the month. I think up now 80%. Correct me if I'm wrong. But good stuff. Let's dive into our next story of the day and discuss the ongoing banking crisis, in which Arthur Hayes says is bullish for Bitcoin and something you need to be aware of. The BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes says Bitcoin can benefit from the potential crisis in the U.S. banking system, just like we witnessed at the beginning of the year. How did Bitcoin react to the bank runs? Pretty damn positively, right? And according to Hayes, the U.S. banking crisis is back, with manufacturers and traders bank being one of the banks likely to face insolvency issues due to their high exposure to commercial real estate in its loans portfolio. As he shares here, CRE loans are 34% of the total loan book. A 20% loss on CRE loans would wipe out 36% of the total equity capital, and then they would breach capital adequacy ratios and require a bailout. M&T is the 20th largest bank in the U.S. Uh-oh, the market smells weakness and shall punish. Guess we need more free money from the U.S. government to bail out the insolvent banking system. Another reason to turn that money printer on, right? Bitcoin loves this. Hayes also says that the rising yields on the 10-year U.S. Treasury bond will place more stress on the U.S. banking system. Facts. And this could further benefit Bitcoin, as it will force the Federal Reserve to print to bail out the banks. And we all know what happens to Bitcoin price action when the money printer continue to go. Just saying. And according to Hayes, the actions of the world's second and third largest economies are contributing to the rising U.S. Treasury bond yields. Quoting him again, putting aside the Hamas versus Israel two-sided tragedy, the action to watch is over in Northeast Asia. Both China and Japan are committed to weakening their currencies, and it'll lead to disaster for U.S. Treasury bond hodlers, aka the Muppets. And at the Japanese yuan weakens, the 10-year U.S. Treasury bonds will rise. Japan can manage the speed of the devaluation by selling down its holdings of treasuries, which is putting upward pressure on the yields. And if Japan weakens, China must as well compete for the global exports. Chinese yuan is approximately 10% overvalued versus the Japanese yen based on historical recent trends. The yuan is strong, and that's why capital is fleeing to China, because the yuan can buy a lot more than it should when viewed against monetary fundamentals. Now, China is managing the speed of the yuan weakening by selling U.S. treasuries as well. China also has a fat stack of dog-ish bonds to liquidate, which puts upwards pressure on the yields. So there you have it. You have been warned. Only keep in the bank what you can afford to lose at the end of the day, just in case there is another bank run. You know what I mean? As USD is the ultimate ish coin. I truly do believe that. Congrats to everyone who hodled throughout the crypto winter. Exciting times ahead, says Powered by Bitcoin. Well said, fam. Massive congrats to all the long-term hodlers. Much love, much respect. That's what's up. Insert Frankie's big Bitcoin shout. Okay. Shout out to Frankie. What up? Shout out to Sherry. What's up, fam? Appreciate you guys. That's awesome. We might see a Bitcoin ETF approved today. That's the word on the street, Shane. We don't know if it's just a rumor. Again, take all information with a grain of salt because you never know who to trust in this crazy world. But nonetheless, I am sure you'll find out about it from some very credible resources if we do get that green light, I am sure. Maybe we'll get a tweet from Gary Gensler. Hey, we just approved all of the ETFs at the same time, making sure that there's no first movers advantage and it's a fair, equal playing field. Imagine if Gary Gensler actually did the right thing for once. Holy moly. Is there a bank run? I'll just put my money into Coinbase. It says relaxing. Money printer go burr. You already know the name of the game. Solana is a currency for payments, while Bitcoin is money for store of value. You need both, says Geo. Well, you can use Bitcoin via layer 2s, such as the Lightning Network, for payments. It works tremendously well. OpenNode is great proof of that. Strike is more evidence and more receipts of that. You know what I mean? Yeah, best channel. Thank you, Jay Bella. Much love, much respect. Baller Bill says XLM, which is Stellar Lumens, is my number 2. Word up. That's a fork off XRP, obviously. All right, guys, let's break down our next story of the day. We discussed the banking crisis. Now, as of yesterday, the ongoing court trial with Sam Bankman-Fried has officially finished up. They put in their closing arguments, and here's the latest updates of what's happening with the trial. Hopefully, we get a verdict here shortly. The prosecutors in the FTX fraud trial say the disgraced SBF is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt following his testimony in court, and he was all added up on Adderall to even testify, which makes it that much more hilarious. In new court transcripts reported by the Inner City Press, Assistant Attorney of the U.S., Nicholas Roos, addressed the jury and argued that Bankman-Fried is guilty on every single one of the 7 charges. Quoting him here, the core dispute here is whether the defendant knew that taking the money was wrong. He knew it. He did it anyway. He thought he was smarter and could walk away out of it, but today with you, that ends. And according to Roos, Bankman-Fried's testimony was filled with lies and convenient omissions. Quoting him again, did you notice how he evaded with the layout of Alameda and an Airbnb, or why he chose the Miami Heat arena to name? But how was he on cross-examination? He couldn't remember a single detail. It was uncomfortable. 140 times he asked for terms to be defined, terms he had already used. He tried to tell a story to exclude himself from the fraud. That was a lie. And over 3 days, he took the stand and he lied. You got to ignore all of the evidence to believe Bankman-Fried. Roos goes on to say that believing Bankman-Fried is innocent requires a suspension of disbelief. Quoting him again, you'd have to ignore the 3 cooperating witnesses, the spreadsheets, the lies. You have to believe that the defendant from MIT was clueless. You know it's not true. You have heard his co-conspirators and saw the secret documents. The defendant is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt on each and every one of these charges. We'll talk about the defense arguments, all right? What happened? What does the evidence show? He took money and crypto from customers. Preach. Bankman-Fried is accused of mishandling billions of dollars worth of customer money, as well as defrauding investors when he allegedly masterminded a plot to move funds from the crypto exchange to its sister firm, Alameda Research, to make the high-risk bets that clearly failed. If convicted of the charges, Bankman-Fried faces decades multiple in prison. I heard rumors almost as much as 100 years in prison if he is found guilty in all 7 counts of fraud. How do you think this is likely to play out for SBF? Let me know, fam. Who is saying today the ETF approval? Anyone advise? There's a lot of people just saying insider information. Whales told me this. That's why I say it's kind of like a birdie whispering in another person's ear. We don't know if there's any credibility to it. Just a lot of big people with large followings saying, hey, insider told me this. A whale whispered in my ear and told me this. But we don't know if it's true, so we'll find out soon. Mr. Wonderful, you already know Mr. O'Leary you're referring to. Yeah, he was actually also colluding with SBF. He was an ambassador. SBF paid him a tremendous amount of money to promote and shill FTX. I believe in Michael Saylor, says Philip. Love his show. Much appreciated. That's what's up. Shout out to Saylor. He's the Giga Chad for a reason. Shout out to Crypto Wild. I appreciate you subscribing to the show. Much love, much respect. I do the live here each and every day. Love your channel, says Dave Haskins. I greatly appreciate that. Sup from LA, what up? Sel Lopez, welcome to the show. Much appreciated. All right, let's dive into our next story of the day. We still got a lot to cover. Here's a $150,000 Bitcoin price target from a major asset manager by the name of Bernstein. Investment research firm Bernstein predicts Bitcoin can soar to $150,000 within the next 2 years. I say that's extremely conservative, but hey, still, six figures, baby, send it. According to the CNBC report, Bernstein analyst said in a research note, the Bitcoin's predicted surge would be due to the optimism surrounding the spot Bitcoin ETF. He also revealed that Bernstein expects the United States SEC to approve one or more proposals for the spot Bitcoin ETF by the first quarter of 2024. We know there's a big deadline, January 10th, for ARC21, Cathie Wood's company, for her ETF, and also other deadlines coming up. Now, currently, about 8 to 10 traditional finance giants, including the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock, also Cathie Wood's ARK Invest, we have Van Eck, Galaxy Digital, Wisdom Tree, and Fidelity Investments, which has $4.5 trillion in assets under management. We add all of this up, it's probably close to 20 trillion, fam, having pending apps with the SEC. The investment research company expects the ETF approval would lead to roughly 10% of Bitcoin's circulating supply going towards the ETF. Now, Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust already holds roughly 3% of the available Bitcoin supply, currently with over 600,000 Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Quoting them here, "You may not like Bitcoin as much as we do, but a dispassionate view of Bitcoin as a commodity suggests a turn of the cycle. A good idea is only as good as its timing." The SEC approved ETFs by the world's top asset managers seems imminent. That's right. That means it's inevitable, it's coming, and only a matter of time. Furthermore, the Bernstein analyst stated that the upcoming Bitcoin halving event, scheduled for April 2024, would wash out losing miners and pave the way for survivors to record massive gains. During the Bitcoin halving event, the miner rewards per block get slashed by 50%. The mechanism is scheduled to occur every 4 years to reduce the amount of Bitcoin produced daily, which could in turn increase the crypto asset's value due to simple economic supply-demand laws. That's right, basic stock to flow. Bitcoin's estimated price for 2025 is about 5 times its current, over 35,000, and more than twice its all-time high of 69,000 from November of 2021. So since Bitcoin hit that 35,000 level, several industry participants have forecasted the crypto's price target in the coming months, including prominent analyst Mikhail van de Poppe, who recently predicted the Bitcoin price to rise to $50,000 per coin before the halving of 2024. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analyst that we can potentially rise to 58,000 leading up to the Bitcoin halving of 2024. And now let's break down our featured story of the day and discuss this $1 million Bitcoin price prediction and the latest news from BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, along with their ETF approval from the SEC. Here's the latest and greatest surrounding BlackRock. Just in, some of the world's largest market-making firms are in the mix to potentially provide liquidity for BlackRock's eagerly awaited Bitcoin ETF if the regulators approve the product, which we all know is inevitable, right? According to a person with knowledge on the matter, trading giants on Wall Street, including Jane Street. That's actually where I believe Bankman-Fried and Caroline Ellison first met, right? Now, Virtu Financial and Jump Trading and Hudson River Trading have held talks with BlackRock about a market maker role, according to BlackRock's slide deck reviewed by the person familiar with the matter. BlackRock, Jane Street, Virtu, and Jump declined to comment. Hudson River Trading, also known as HRT, didn't respond to the request for comment. Now, the U.S. regulatory crackdown on crypto this year, seeming reaction to the FTX implosion of other scandals, including FTX, we had Terra Luna, etc., has persuaded some U.S. firms to curtail their activity in the space. Bloomberg reported earlier in May that Jane Street and Jump had curtailed their crypto trading amid the crackdown, assuming the U.S. SEC approves some or all of the dozen or so apps for the Bitcoin ETFs, including the infamous one from BlackRock, the $10 trillion asset manager that would open a new pathway for US-based firms to get a piece of the action in crypto in a way that plays to their conventional strengths. Now, being a market maker for ETFs, which trade on exchanges like stocks, requires a level of sophistication and automation that only a relatively few companies can achieve. Market makers are vital to the ETFs. They're responsible for creating and redeeming the new shares of an ETF, a role designed to keep its price tethered to the price implied by the value of the ETF holdings. Now, one of the best examples of why such a create and redeem structure is so important actually comes from crypto. Grayscale Investments offers a product called the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, better known as GBTC, whose price has over the past few years wandered dramatically far from the billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin that it owns, currently with over 600,000 BTC on their balance sheet. And unlike an ETF, shares of this trust cannot be redeemed for Bitcoin. Now, Grayscale has applied to convert their GBTC into an ETF, and all eyes are currently on this conversion, as this would be massive. Grayscale's initial app for the conversion was rejected by the SEC. However, the court in August actually ruled in their favor. The SEC decided in October not to appeal that ruling, another massive victory for crypto, a move widely seen as boosting the odds that the Bitcoin ETF will become a reality in the United States. You're damn right. And quoting Samson Mow, check out this prediction. Do not be surprised when Bitcoin goes to $1 million per coin post-spot ETF approval. The market cap doesn't increase linearly. For example, a $1 Bitcoin buy doesn't make the market go up by $1. There is a multiplier effect. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Samson Mow. He's doing fantastic work out there with Bitcoin adoption. I know also in El Salvador as well as in Mexico, trying to make Bitcoin a legal tender, doing his damn thing. And as Luke Mikic pointed out here, he says Samson Mow is 100% correct, and he breaks down the math to prove it. When most people calculate how much capital needs to flow into Bitcoin to push it to $1 million, they assume we need 21 trillion of capital inflows. This is wrong because it ignores the Bitcoin multiplier effect. So let's break down the multiplier effect for Bitcoin, because according to this scenario, assuming all 21 million Bitcoin are available for sale, we could be seeing a $952,000 Bitcoin price action. But here's the math. Here's how it all works. Most Bitcoin math calculations assume all the 21 million Bitcoin is available for sale. Obviously, this is not true. Over 78% of the total Bitcoin supply hasn't moved in the past year. It's even higher now. And that amount is growing year over year. Charts don't lie. The hodl waves shows a similar dynamic, highlighting the hodlers are not selling or even moving their coins. Where are my long-term hodlers at? Now, both of these metrics highlight how and why Bitcoin is so volatile to the upside and to the downside. And as Michael Saylor once said, volatility equals price force. You know what I mean? I believe that. Now, check this out. The Bitcoin price is largely impacted by what happens in the 3 to 5 million Bitcoin that is considered liquid. Here's where the Bitcoin multiplier effect comes in. Check this out. Between 2018 and 2023, for every $1 that attempted to buy Bitcoin, it increased the market cap by an average of 2.6x. Now, let's run some simple grade 11 math with our multiplier effect to see how much capital inflows we require to reach a $1 million Bitcoin price action. Check this out. Using the 3x multiplier, we can see we only need to see 8 trillion of capital attempting to flow into Bitcoin to reach $1 million per coin. 8 trillion is nothing. Just BlackRock alone has more money than that. Gold has a $12 trillion market cap. Let that sink in. But forget gold for the moment. What portion of the $900 trillion global economy can Bitcoin capture? That is the $1 million question, right? There is hundreds of trillions of capital currently looking for a safe home in the midst of the global banking crisis. How much of that capital would love to flow into Swiss bank account in cyberspace, protected by math and encryption with no counterparty risk? What happens when a small percentage of those 100s of trillions try to buy Bitcoin at that time that it's becoming more and more scarce by the day? Understanding this multiplier effect highlights that maybe $1 million in 90 days isn't as outlandish as most people think, referring to the Balaji prediction, who is the former CTO of Coinbase, who made that prediction earlier in the year. Now, more interestingly, there are 5,000 billionaires in the world. Wow, I didn't know we had that many. But only 2.3 million Bitcoin on the exchanges. An update, this was from a few months back. There's now approximately between 1.6 and 1.8 million on the exchanges, even more of a supply shock. Now, what happens to the multiplier effect when 15 of those billionaires also want 150,000 Bitcoin, just like Michael Saylor? Isn't that an excellent question? And if you prefer the video content of this multiplier effect with this analyst Luke, check it out. I'll include it in the show notes below the video in the description. But I want to know your thoughts. How many of you feel that $1 million Bitcoin price is inevitable off the back of the approval of the spot ETF? Let me know your thoughts in the comments right down below. Shout out to Sherry W. She says, long-term hodler, massive respect to all my diamond hands out there. Will Stopson versus Guru, the British hodler, broke down the multiplier math. You're damn right. You gotta love it. Hype says Game Sparks. Well, I appreciate you tuning in nonetheless and participating in that live chat. Sparks, appreciate you. Keep stacking them sats. You already know Sherry. Shane says, I believe 50,000 before the halving if the ETF gets approved. Well, let's share another scenario. What if the ETF does not get approved? How high do we climb pre-halving? What if they push it back and they project, oh, it's not going to be till the third quarter of 2025? Very unlikely scenario, but what if? I still feel personally, with or without the ETF, Bitcoin's going to surpass 50,000. Think about it this way. Last halving cycle, you know what I mean? Bitcoin went from a bottom after the COVID crash of roughly 3,500, and by the end of 2021, we hit 69,000. That's without the institutions. That's without the institutional adoption of BlackRock. That's without all the hype of the ETFs. Zero, you know what I mean? So, of course, it's inevitable. We're going to pump regardless, but the ETF just makes it that much more bullish at the end of the day because you start stacking multiple bullish factors at around that same time. Bitcoin halving, spot ETF, supply shock, limited Bitcoin on the exchanges. You got over 5,000 billionaires. What if there's another dozen Michael Saylors that want to acquire 150,000 Bitcoin? They can't. The price is going to rise. It is inevitable. I truly believe that. Let's freaking go. Shout out to Fender Dude. Appreciate you tuning in to the live show. You guys enjoying the content today? If so, smash the like. I greatly appreciate it, fam. We got a lot of chat. I love it. I appreciate the interaction. Great YouTube channel for crypto. Very informative, says Shane Sullivan. Thank you, Shane. Appreciate that. Let's go Bitcoin. Let's go. Emilio, what's up? Good to see you back. I know you were on the watch party last night. That was lit, wasn't it? Yeah, it's exciting. Tennessee Eco Man, even with a multiplier of 1, we moon. Exactly. We don't even need the 3x. We're going to moon regardless. Michael Jones Scott, 51,000 high. We're 24 low pre-halving. 2025 Bitcoin, 144,000 high and a low of 55,000. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, Michael. Anyone agree or disagree with those predictions? Let me know. Jose de Jesus Rodriguez, self-custody, preach. That's what's up. Get your crypto off the exchanges. Just like you don't keep your money in the bank, you don't keep your crypto on the exchanges. Not your keys, not your cheese. You know what I'm saying? Took a break to see you, my brother. Thank you, Emilio. Appreciate that. DGen Gaming, anyone? Says Web3 me. Word. I think I see 60,000 in the cards. It's a happening. The only question is by when, right? When will it happen is what we all want to know. It'll be interesting. That's for sure. Yes, that is true about the multiplier, says relaxing, word up. Hope that poor people get a better life from Bitcoin. Word up, Barry BTC. I appreciate you tuning in. I agree, 48,000 by the end of the year, says passive, word up. Bernstein Bears. I do remember those books when I was a kid. Classic, right? That's way too conservative. I think we'll hit that post ETF and into the first quarter of 2024, says relaxing, word up. I think you're right. I also think that's conservative. Not your keys, not your coins. You got that right, Web3 me. We all need to be in front of our computers all day long, right? If we have another pump and we hit a new annual high, we surpass 36, I'll keep it moving. We'll do another Bitcoin price pump watch. As long as we're in that zone of excitement where we're like, how high will she go? Because I think the next major test after we break 36 is most likely 40,000. It's virtually the original psychological barrier of 20,000 that served as the top for many years in the previous cycle. And it's 2x that now. 40,000 is the new 20. Let's freaking go. And how many of you believe that there is no second best? What's your favorite, or I should say second favorite crypto besides Bitcoin? So that's why we say you're second. What's the second best? Let us know in that live poll. Right now we got 223 votes and they're still coming in and we shall see who wins. Yeah. Michael says local high is 41,000 next week. Send it. Let's go. Intro contest. That's right, Dankness. I don't have it prepped for right now as far as playing the clip, but we are going to have an intro contest with more information and details shared in a video. I'll probably share it tomorrow. I just didn't have it set up for today because I was kind of rushed. 11/11 2023 spot ETF. That would be a beautiful omen. It's definitely a good sign. You know what I mean? When you see those numbers, 11/11 back to back. Definitely a good sign. 41,000 before the end of November, then a pullback December if no ETF, predicts Michael. I appreciate all the predictions. Good to note. I'm going to sip on some water. Second is Matic, says Barry BTC. Word up, referring to Polygon Matic, which is a layer 2 scaling solution for the Ethereum network. Ethereum is doomed without their layer 2s. The fees on the network are still outrageous, right? What up, Claire? Says ICP. The Insane Clown Posse? Y'all remember that group? I know Internet something protocol. I forget. Is it Internet Computing Protocol? I forget the initials there. Let me know. Bitcoin, Chronos, and Quant for me. Word up. So that's basically the local cryptocurrency of the crypto exchange, and then Quant. Oh, I appreciate it. Emilio for the super chat. Much love, much respect. You blessed me last night as well with a super big one. So thank you, fam. Appreciate that. $74,000 by January, predicts Dub Proof. Let's freaking go. Holy moly. Could you anticipate all-time high before the halving? Where do you think that will take us post-halving? To the stratosphere. You know what I mean? There are no second best. That's right. A wise man once said, there is no second best. There's Bitcoin. You got a crypto called Bitcoin, right? Crypto Dre, what it do? Thanks for tuning in to the live show. Appreciate you. Much love, much respect. Good to see you. Appreciate you live. 50 to 60 before the bull run. Send it. Self-custody. Appreciate the reminders. People need to self-custody their crypto. It's the way to go. How many of you, this is your first halving cycle? Let me know. And how many of you have experienced a cycle before? Maybe this is your second time experiencing the halving. This is going to be my third time. Well, kind of second. Thank you, Emilio. Because I got started in 2017, so I just missed the halving of 2016, but I witnessed the parabolic pump. Because when I got into Bitcoin in 2017, Bitcoin was roughly $1,500. Then by the end of the year, it pumped to $20,000. So I don't know the math off the top of my head, but probably somewhere between 12 to 15x. Not too shabby, right? Could you imagine getting into Bitcoin and seeing 10, 12% gains your first year? I mean, sorry, 10 to 12x gains. That's 1,000 to 1,200% your very first year. You can see why this is so addicting, right? This is your second halving for dankness. Word up. This is the first for relaxing. Good to note. XRP, is that your favorite crypto, fam? Let me know. I still like Litecoin, says Breton. Word up. We typically see Litecoin front run the rest of the market when there is a halving. What was interesting this time, Litecoin did a halving and it didn't really pump, which is interesting. I guess you don't know about Squid Grow then. No, never heard of it. That's my second cycle, which I am make more than $1 million this cycle, Facts 100. Good for you. I love to hear crypto folks winning at the end of the day, so congratulations. But yeah, I'm not familiar with Squid Grow. I never heard of that though. First one and actually prepping for, hope to be in the six figures after this bull run. Word up, WCB, much respect. Jerome says it's his second. Almost one full cycle, says bring facts. That's what's up. The first halving, I'm wide awake for it. Word up, D-Gun. Let's get it. Barry Bitcoin, I hope the best for you. JV, every day, a lot of workshop for you. Respect. Much love, fam. Second cycle from here in Atlanta. Word up, Hodl King. Congratulations. Let's go. And we'll be here for many more cycles to come. Emilio, this is his very first cycle. That's what's up. Solana has been pumping. That's right, Jason Bitmarch. It's one of the top pumpers for the month. Last I looked, it was up 80%. Love Bitcoin, but please don't hate on XRP. No hate here. There's no hate in my blood. I don't hate on any crypto. I just tell you my opinion. If you guys asked, you asked me earlier, what's your opinion on XRP? And I just told you I'm all in on Bitcoin because it's decentralized and it's the antidote to the CBDCs. The truth is XRP is the bridge currency for the central bank digital currency. So if you support bankers and tyranny, then yeah, I'd be all for it. But I'm the opposite. I support Bitcoin, which is the antidote to the CBDCs. I'm not hating on XRP. I'm not wishing it doom and gloom. I have family members who own it, and I respect it. I think it has a lot of potential to grow, but that doesn't mean I have to believe in it because I don't. I believe in decentralization. Anything taking us closer towards a one world government, I am against it. I just want to be very clear on the record. If you don't know, now you know. You know what I mean? Meme list tomorrow at 8 UF. What? Buckle up. What's the meme list? This is my third halving G. Word up, Jeff. $0 G Rose says 100%. Word up. Well, anyways, fam, we're going to wrap up here over on YouTube. We're going to continue with the After Party Uncensored over on Rumble. So if you're not following me on Rumble, go ahead and do so right now. It's rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net, or simply just type in Crypto News Alerts into Rumble and follow me. You'll see there's over 1,000 subscribers on the Rumble channel, and we will continue live with our Q&A and JV React session. It's been lit, YouTube. I'll be back the same time, same place tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, but I hope to see you over on Rumble. Deuces.